Few times in history have seen the sort of rapid social change that occurred during the Russian Revolution. In the wake of the birth of the Soviet Union, two now famous composers sought a new 20th century Russian style, Prokofiev and Shostakovich. Both ran afoul of the authorities under Stalin. Prokofiev never got to see a world without Stalin. Coincidentally, he passed away on the same day that Stalin did. Shostakovich, however, outlived him by 22 years. His sonata for cello and piano was written in 1934. This was a key moment in his career. This was the same year as the premiere of his opera, Lady Macbeth of Mtsensk. The opera was hugely popular. However, when Stalin went to see it, shortly after, Shostakovich and the opera were condemned in a review in Pravda, the Soviet newspaper. He was criticized both for his avant-garde musical style, but also for the content of the opera. In particular, one scene involving a bedroom and creative use of the trombone in the musical score. Shostakovich lost all of his positions. His commissions dried up, and he found himself unable to make a career as a composer. Things got way worse than this. The following year, Stalin's Great Terror began, and this was the government's attempt to take even further control of the population by disappearing the artists, the intellectuals of the country to gulags in the East. Many of Shostakovich's friends and colleagues disappeared. Even worse, many of them were executed. It's truly a miracle that Shostakovich made it through the Great Terror alive. Eventually, Shostakovich made his way back into the favors of the government. Stalin asked Shostakovich to write a grand symphony for his Fifth Symphony on the scale of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, a way of commemorating the great Soviet nation, and asked that it be in the social realist style that the Soviet Union was trying to push. Shostakovich responded by writing something that made Stalin happy, but deep down inside, it was actually a sarcastic response instead of, okay, you wanted it, here is something tonal, here is something that proclaims the great Soviet nation, but I'm pretending. He went on to write pieces critical of Stalin after he died. His 10th Symphony is basically a caricature of the monster-like cartoon character of Stalin. He also used music to promote the Russian nation. A great example of which is his 7th Symphony, the Leningrad, which he composed in St. Petersburg while the city was under siege and under bombardment by the Nazi army, and was premiered by the Leningrad Philharmonic while the war was still going on in the city's edge. Through it all, Shostakovich managed to walk the thin line between defining a 20th century style for his homeland and criticizing the forces attempting to change his society.